different setup, and each box is made the same, with the difference that some of them have some distraction odors in it. We'll bring a dog in on occasion that maybe doesn't have the drive, and we'll have him, we call this a doggy scratch box. We're going to let him just hit that box for no reason at all because he's got the ball behind the glass, and then let him have the ball after. I don't want to get good doggy odor with this. And that's the reason, for that box. We will never take this box and make it a substance box. We'll never take the food box and make it a substance box. When we deliver the reward object, and that's why we call it a reward object, it is nothing more than an object. This is not the reward. The game that the dog engages in when he grabs this and fights with it is the reward. That's the reason they pay no attention to the other one laying on the ground when they come up and they grab this one. Because that one involves a game. If that one involves a game, time and time again, only where the source is, the dog comes to expect it. The only time it'll release its energy into it is when it's at the source. So many times you'll see the dog take the reward object and go back to the source, hoping to initiate the game the same way a dog would take the sleeve and ram it back into the helper in order to continue that game. It's not hard to understand, when you look at it in terms of protection work and what's happening there, and in terms of some of the other things. When somebody does the obedience and they're using the tug, they're using the game as a reward or motivator to get the dog's attitude right and to entice him to do correctly. When you see the dog bring the tug up to the person, he shakes his head back and forth. He's trying with all he can to entice the game. When the dog takes the PVC pipe to the ground and he's gnawing on it, it's not because he's hungry. There's no nutritional value in polyurethane or PVC. He's trying for as long as he can to continue the game. He's possessive of it. No, he's not possessive of it. He's possessive of the game. He wants that to continue. And when the handler takes the dog and tries to force the reward away from it, he's creating a game that the dog absolutely lives for. And before you know it, he gets mad because the dog's not releasing it fast enough, and he starts hammering on the dog. He starts punishing the dog for having the very drive, which is the very reason he picked him to do this task. And that's the damnable shame of it all sometimes. Okay. Again, when we talk about the reward object, the ball on the string, tied with a knot properly the way y'all did it yesterday, 2 slits, and we're going to tie the string off and have it about 2 arms length away. That's long enough for us to do what we need to do in a good measure. We're going to use a tennis ball, not because there's anything special about tennis balls, because I can hit the box with it or the glass with it and not worry about breaking it. Just because I can let this sit in my hand without it burning it and let it go. Some people try to overthink it. They're now trying to sell products whose job is to sell products. They try to overthink this thing and they try to come up with new ideas. And in trying to come up with new ideas, the hard ball will last longer. The hard ball, you can hit the dog with it, it won't hurt the dog. I'm worried about the dog. If I hit the glass with that thing, it could bust the glass because it's too heavy. The dog grabs it, it gets wet, saliva, he starts slipping away from it, and entices his own game to do his retrieve drive instead of grabbing and holding. Okay? The tennis ball being lighter, I don't have to worry about hurting the dog, I don't have to worry about breaking the glass. Oh, well, let's use a nylon string. When that slides through your hands, it's going to burn the heck out of you. Cotton, polyester, doesn't. Let's put a handle on the end of it so it's easier to hold. We could grab it with a handle with a string. The problem is it starts grabbing onto this, and you create a fight for the reward out here instead of right here. With the tennis ball on the string, when he takes off, I can let it go, and there's nothing here to grab or to catch onto to create a fight in the wrong place and deliver a bad message to the dog. So everything we do has a purpose. The reward object we use has a purpose. And that is a reward object. It is not the reward. The reward in anything is the game that's attached to it and how valuable that game is to that dog.
Why are you hitting the glass? Because he can only take it when his nose is near the substance, or you never let him have it when you're banging it near him in the beginning?
No, I never let him have it. I might do it when you have him over here. It draws attention to where the game is. And when he drops that one, I'll put it back. When I first start the dog off, and I've got 3 boxes here, I'll dangle it in this box where he sees it. I'll dangle it over here where he sees it. You'll bring the dog up. He inadvertently comes to the marijuana box, he sticks his nose in. When he does, boom, it appears. Now he saw, heard, and smells the ball here. He saw, heard, and smells the ball here. When he gets to here, he smells the substance. And guess what appears? So from the very beginning, the boxes are not designed like the old boxes, or the purpose, I should say. These boxes are designed to be used a little bit differently in the way we use them. And in the way we use them, we want to educate each one of the dog's senses. The sense of sight, the sense of hearing, the sense of smell. In traditional, we go over and start tapping on stuff. Good boy, good boy. We think all of that is necessary. That's bull malarkey. If the dog doesn't want this reward object bad enough to do what it takes to get it, we have the wrong dog. To praise the dog or give him any kind of cue or hint from the handler before he gets the reward object in his mouth is counterproductive. It's something the dog's going to look for later on. It has to be up to the dog. He's the one that has the tools in order to solve this puzzle. He's the one that can smell the ozone all the way to the source. It's us thinking that we have to get our big butts in there and do something in order to entice the dog to do something that causes confusion in the dog's mind. And what this is about is alleviating that confusion. If I drop the ball here with the glass down, he comes up and he hits the glass. He's tearing it up. I open both of them and he gets nothing. He says, oh God, that's interesting. My eyes just deceive me. My ears just deceive me. My sense of smell just deceive me, because everything is present here as far as his senses go, except for the odor of the contraband. And once he finally manipulates and works his way down to here and gets paid, it's not going to take him but 4 or 5 tries to realize that the nose is what counts, not his eyes and not his ears. And if he's righteous with his nose, if he's believing in that, he can't help but be right. And just like the A-frame you saw yesterday in the video or the PowerPoint presentation, that's the only way he ever learned was to trust just his nose. So when your dog smells it, he goes up under there and grabs the junction box. It's the only way she's ever known. When they're hitting on the outside of the car because they smell something, before long it's going to start varying. And then you got the handlers trying to move in and fix it. And you got the dogs looking at the handlers for the answers. What's real is the substance. Okay? Good question. Other questions? Because it reminds me of stuff I'm forgetting to say. You understand the environment. When we bring him up to here, it's all about this. Until the dog masters this, he doesn't move any further. He goes no further.